I kind of got the feeling that this year was going to be a little bit different than normal. When the last, of course, we held the Maple Institute on the last weekend of January, and I stopped by James's and I said, "Can you help me set up the program?" And James said, James Miller's. And James said, "Yeah," but he says, "I'll only give you an hour because I'm going home to boil syrup." James, he set up, went home, gave Toby instructions on how to do stuff, and then came in and said that that night he came in with a gallon of syrup and said, "First syrup of 2012. We knew it was going to be different. How did it shake out across the state? We know what happened in the Northeast. I think you've all talked with your neighbors. We had a pretty good year up here. We had a real good year across the state of Ohio. That might not have been true up in New England, parts of New England, up in Vermont, up in Canada. Still, they keep that a deep, dark secret up there till sometime in June or July that Quebec talks to us. But you go across in northwestern Ohio, we had really exceptionally good production. Paul Snavely, treasurer of the Ohio Maple Producers Association, had the best year he's ever had. He had an excellent, excellent year. Then again, as you move down into southeastern Ohio, not so good. Dan Brown, the new president of the Ohio Maple Producers Association down in Knox County, said an excellent year. It all came down to the fact that if you got tapped early, you did real well. I said to myself, this is either going to be a very, very good year or a very, very bad year. When we started, as it turned out, I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle, but I believe that most of us made really good production, and across the state it'll look real good. One thing I would encourage all of you as producers to do, if you did get a form from the USDA, fill that form out, because that tells a story on what happens. That survey that you get from the United States Department of Agriculture is very important in determining what we get and what we do in the state of Ohio and the importance of the maple industry in this state. Other than that, thank you for allowing me to speak, Dave, and from Ohio State University Extension, thank you.
Our Hall of Fame candidate for this year was, when the committee sat down to make their decision, this is a no-brainer. In fact, he'd been on the list for a couple years, but he just got done serving as president of the 2010-2011 Maple Festival. And so we wanted to wait until he was done with all those commitments and all those committees in order to do it. JR has always had a passion and the taste buds needed to become an award-winning maple producer. As a child, his parents drove him out to Chardon to buy syrup, so he grew up knowing that unique flavor. When they finally moved out to Chardon, he decided he wanted to make a hobby out of it, and has been continuing ever since. He started on a stove in the kitchen, then on a gas grill in the patio. Finally, a half-pint, 55-gallon drum cut into over wood fire. He's come a long way since those days. He has about 475 taps now, and he taps on his surrounding neighbors' properties too, who for a small free syrup, allow him to tap their trees as well. JR retired from General Electric in 2002, and he does like to get away for a little while, enjoy a little warm weather in St. Martin. Other than that, he's here, and anybody that knows, anybody that's been involved with the festival or maple syrup, knows the commitment that JR has to maple syrup industry.
One of the great pleasures of being in a position like I'm in is you get a chance to do this from time to time for wonderful people in the 18th District, and JR is certainly no exception. I had prepared a bunch of remarks about all of his accomplishments and everything that he's done, the wonderful family that he's raised, and all of his, certainly his awards and prizes and his involvement with so many things as has just been described to you. But we all know, I think, that we're not judged so much by what we do as by how we do it. And on that score, JR is an exemplary character here in Geauga County, and he has, if you ask anybody who's had the pleasure of interacting with him over the course of the last 30 years, as I have, we were just reminiscing about dropping kids off at birthday parties when they were much smaller than they are now. But anybody who's had any interaction with him will tell you that he conducts himself in everything he does with such an admirable sense of decency, integrity, and responsibility. That's the kind of person that he is. Those are the kinds of things that are really most important, and those are the kinds of things that this proclamation from the Ohio Senate really proclaims. So it's with great pleasure, JR, that I present to you this proclamation from the Ohio Senate on behalf of all of the state of Ohio.
Thank you very much. I just want to say thank you very much. It certainly is an honor. When I look at, it's like when you're watching the Emmys or something like that, and they talk about who they were nominated with and stuff like that. So when you go through the list that's printed in the bulletin here that shows all the other Hall of Famers out there, there's a lot of tradition, a lot of long maple syrup heritage that's gone on, and I'm just honored and I guess a little quite surprised, I should say, because I just try to keep a low key, make a little bit of syrup, and sneak it into a contest now and then. Every now and then it gets a blue ribbon, but I appreciate it. It's quite a surprise and like I said, quite an honor. So I'd like to thank all you syrup producers. I know there's a lot of good ones out there, and just to give you guys a chance this year, since I knew I was getting inducted, I decided not to enter syrup in, so you guys can have a chance and I won't steal your blue ribbon. So, thank you very much.